Welcome back to The Loop. We're taking a bold and fresh look at our lives in Kenya today. And tonight we're asking the question, do we have a crisis of mental health in this country? We'd love to hear your feedback, so please do not hesitate to send us something on WhatsApp, even a picture. Tell us something about yourself and how you're dealing with mental health. And of course, you can tweet, you can Facebook, you can send us a message on Instagram, The Loop at K24. And we had some tweets from you. Maua tuko locked. Manze, hiyo story ni real. My youth wana fight depression. Unapata msee hii mwaka tu ndio alikuwa ameona. Then what? My Swahili is so bad. Are you laughing at me? Mike, help.
Yeah, he says this is Prometheus. Says Maua tuko locked in. Manze, hiyo story ni real. My youth wana fight depression. Unapata msee hii mwaka tu ndio alikuwa ameoa. Then boom, kazi imeisha hivyo. Mtoi anataka 1200 weekly. Hiyo ni kutupa kwa choo. That's Pampers he's talking about, and yeah, I mean it's a serious situation. Billy the God says tunapitia struggles huku nje hadi unaanza kuunderstand mbona ukiwa mdogo ulikuwa unakutana na mtu mkubwa akijiongelesha peke yake kwa njia na si mwenda wazimu. Yeah. Yeah.
Schizophrenia and spectrums are among the most prevalent mental illnesses in Kenya, but still misdiagnosed, highly stigmatized, and thus often turmoil. Holistic treatments allow manageability and bouncing back to productivity. That's from Wangai Ara. Thank you. Ahmed Hashi says mental health issues are just stupefying. In Kenya, there is so much stigma associated with it that people are ostracized or chained. We must fight this tragic situation. Thank you so much, Ahmed. That is true. I like that comment. Yeah, I was just thinking how brave it is for you, Samaina, to even speak about, you know, like wanting to harm your child. And for women, you know, we're told it's the happiest time of your life when you become a mother, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And then we're all waiting for wonderful. You're like, hey, it's been 6 months. See, wonderful young you know? So I think thank you for sharing. And then starting PPD Kenya.
Yeah.
How many women do you have in the support group and in the organization?
I'd say we've supported
Actually, hundreds of
women because we registered in 2018 and we've been having programs and awareness campaigns, both online and offline. We
started physical support
groups, and then that couldn't work after Corona. So now what we did is created WhatsApp support groups. And it's amazing just to know that, you know, for moms to know that they're not in this alone, because then they'll reach out and we'll talk and they'll tell me, I feel like for the first time someone understands what I'm going through, because we tell them that, you know, mental illness,
postpartum depression is a condition for which you can get treatment, and just now
providing a safe space.
Okay.
And still recommending them for them to see therapists, but still providing a safe space for
them to share.
Okay. And I think so. How like in a situation like with Somoina, where you know she went through that situation with her child, how would you advise that a parent then reconciles with the child to be able to take them through? You know, that was the experience that they went through, and that it wasn't like, you know, it's not their fault, because you know, a child can be like, I'm the one who caused mom to get sick.
Yeah, and so this is going to probably happen with older kids, because when they're younger, they're probably not aware that you went through postpartum depression, or that you wanted to harm them, or that you slapped them, or whatever. But the more, like for her, because she's out in the open, probably her son by now knows. So what you want to do is use age-appropriate information. They're not going to understand postpartum depression, but they can understand an illness of the mind. They're not going to understand depression at all, but you can use an analogy of maybe a time when they were sick. Like you can say, remember the time you got so sick and then you vomited on me? Because probably they do. And then you can say, you know, you vomited on me, but it wasn't your fault that you vomited on me. It just happened because you were sick. And then you got treated. We went to Dr. So-and-so. And now you don't vomit on me because you were not doing it on purpose. So it's kind of how mommy was sick. I was having all these thoughts that were not true. They were not true, because the true thoughts are that I love you. The true thoughts are that I'm happy to know you. I'm happy that you're mine. I'm proud of you. So you really help them see that things we do and think and believe that are based on an illness. and the illness is of the mind. And so once mommy is on medication, and you know how mommy always goes to see Auntie Valentine, or how mommy, so that then they say, oh, okay, because I have done something that I didn't mean to do, but I did it when I was sick.
If I was a kid, I'd be scared that it's hereditary. Is it hereditary?
Depression does have a hereditary component, but postpartum depression is tricky because you may have in your lineage, you know, presence of like women in our family. You will hear somebody say, sisi kwetu tukizaa, tunafanyanga XYZ. Or kwetu tukizaa, watu wamama wa kwetu wakizaa, hata mtoto lazima achukuliwe ndio wasijitupe kwa mto or something. So there can be a hereditary kind of thread that you can trace.
Okay.
But for some of them, it's triggered by something, as is just good old depression, by the way.
Okay.
Sometimes it's in your lineage, sometimes it's triggered by something like a traumatic event, like a death, like just trauma, but like latent trauma that has come to you now in your adulthood, right?
Okay.
So it can be hereditary, but even if it was, it's highly, highly treatable.
True.
It's
I
highly
like
treatable.
that because we're seeing even from the tweets, the stigma surrounding this.
Yes.
It's like it can't be treated. People want to write you off.
Yes.
You are lichizi,
Yes.
is a rap. So you're saying a lot of these disorders are treatable.
Treatable and manageable.
Okay.
So if you think about our African context, let's say when our grandparents were children, so we are talking like several generations back, before you even got married, they would send the chief to your family, or if you know, like your potential husband or wife would be told, kwao ni watu wazuri na hawana nini, hawana mwenda wazimu.
You know?
Right? But what did they have to treat? They didn't really have medication. So the advent of medication has made it that between taking a medicine and talk therapy, and something that Africans have that the West doesn't always have, and I wish we would leverage it more, which is community.
Yes.
And you know what's crazy? Now Western therapists, because I follow them, they're starting to say it's not just individual progress, you have to have a sense of collective, they're calling it collectivism, I think.
Okay.
But we have it and we always had it.
We do. Actually, Samoina, we were talking about that on the phone. I was saying, I actually think the success of a child is based heavily on how much the parents can create a community to raise that child. I don't think children should be raised by one person or even two.
This is
I
true.
think you need aunties, you need uncles, everybody, friends.
Yes.
Because sometimes they see things in your child that even you weren't paying attention to, you know?
I was just telling her when we were waiting to come in, I said, you modern day parents, so I'm going to say you modern day parents. You know, modern day parents want to be everything for their child, and the desire is well intentioned. Some of you are parenting because you know what it is to not have a parent, or to be abandoned by your parent, or to have a parent who's there but absent. So the intention to say my child will never feel my absence is good. The intention I'm okay with. What you guys and what parents need to understand is that Africa had it right all along. It does take a village. And the village isn't just, I think, especially in Kenya and maybe abroad, people think a two-parent home is perfect and therefore enough. The shock of your life is that it's not even the beginning of being enough.
I don't think it's enough.
If you ask your parents who educated them, ask them. They'll tell you, this person sold a cow. This person exchanged mahindi ya shamba yake for school fees. We had it right all along. So if we're going to take things from the West, like medicine, like pills, take them. But don't give up the things that are ours, that are ingrained in us. For example, some pretty dangerous things were happening with me. And you know how my mom found out? Mama mboga.
Oh.
Yes, she alighted the matatu and the lady asked her, wewe ndio mama ya ule msichana? And then she described me to a T. And of course my mom panicked and thought, did something happen? And she said, leo nimesema lazima nikuambie. It turns out that the house help we had at the time would put me in a matatu with my best friend and tell the conductor, wakifika kwa hii shule, the uniform, shuka uwavukishe barabara.
And keeping the bus fare. She was keeping the bus fare. So she
yes,
have
and
been
also
on
to
the
flirt with the guys that were selling cigarettes and sweets, right?
Okay. But wait, sorry to cut you off, but I want to know the community support that Maggie is saying, you know, this is so necessary. What can a community do for somebody with postpartum depression?
I think I
Our
like
sisters, cousins, best
aunties,
friends. Yes, what do we
everyone.
do?
I think I like to start from the point of just be aware, educate yourself about mental illnesses, because that's really where you get to know that these symptoms or the way this person is presenting, it does feel like not everything is okay with them. So just being aware, first of all, really, really helps. And then we like, especially for moms now, because we deal with a lot of moms, we like to recommend just offer practical help for a new mom. I keep saying, don't go see a new mom and sit prim and proper and wait to be served. Do not, because this mom is exhausted. She's
like that.
learning how to deal with a newborn. This newborn is probably colicky, you know, crying. They're not sleeping at night. She hasn't healed properly. So offer practical support. If you're very close to the mom, just ask her, how can I support you? Do I do your laundry? Do I do your dishes? Do I, you know, pick your child from school? Pre-corona, of course.
What about the men? The men.
We're still there, still be aware. And it's good that you brought that up, because we also have men who call the organization line and they go like, I don't know how to support her. What do I do? And again, be aware. And when we say be aware, we are actually putting in effort. We are creating all this awareness on our social media profiles. And we are sending out resources and materials. So learn, you know, teach yourself, listen out, tune into shows like this. Just try and educate yourself about mental health.
And what about the men who now want to have another baby immediately? And you haven't yet healed from or recovered from postpartum depression. And he's saying, hey, this thing is, umekuwa miaka mbili sasa, is, you know, and your relatives are there saying, when is number 2 coming?
And we get that a lot. And I think I keep telling moms, don't bow to society pressure, because you get one child, you get married or you don't get married, they ask you, why aren't you married? You get married, they're like, baby number 1 anakuja lini. You get baby number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4 and number 5, and they go like, hiya, see you pause first. So they'll always be a problem.
Tell the guy, wachana na bibi.
But I think it's important, Mike, for partners and for men to just know that childbirth changes a woman, absolutely changes a woman. So if she's struggling with postpartum depression, that is a cry for help. It's not crying for attention. And the pressure to just get another baby just so that the lineage can continue. But what's a baby without a healthy mother?
Okay, that's really good. Ben, I hope you're paying attention and you're listening. You also have a part to play in terms of recovery around issues of postpartum depression. You have a big role to play. Remember, question of the day today we're asking is, do we have a crisis of mental health in this country? And we're asking you to talk to us. You can give us your thoughts and opinions. The WhatsApp number is on the line right now, or rather on the screen right now. And we have some feedback. Let's see what you are saying around this issue. Remember, of course, you can use the hashtag TheLoopK24 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Gilbert from Mombasa says, hi, I'm learning a lot from the talk. Depression is real and killing self-esteem of an individual. Thank you very much, Gilbert.
And Anonymous say, show ikoju. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, schizophrenia affects due to stressful conditions caused by joblessness. Okay.
Is that true? I wonder if that's true. Maggie, you can tell us after the break. And from Shariani, I think mental crises are affecting our youth, especially students. Wengi wanaogopa shule sai kwa sababu wanaogopa walimu wengi. They are not shocked, not knowing wataanzia wapi. Thank you so much.
Okay, so remember, keep talking to us, and you can use the hashtag TheLoopK24, and of course the WhatsApp number is on the screen right now. Send us a video if you can, actually, and tell us what you think about mental health. How are you dealing with it? Do you know somebody who's going through it? And these amazing ladies are here to answer your questions. So Siogope, you can ask anything that you want, and let's educate ourselves and each other as we continue with the show. We have to take a short break, but more when we return.